Good evening, everyone. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. So we're going to talk about a few things that are, well, new things that have come up. So I was sent this article, and it's dated from January of this year, and it's called "There are 49 unclaimed bodies in the state of North Carolina that family has never claimed after their passing." And it says 39 of them are from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is like, wow. So I thought it was interesting. So I went through the list, and it seems like um, the newest one, I should say, is from February of 2024, but it hasn't listed. And every body that they have listed actually has a name. So they've been identified. So they have names. So it's not like these are bodies that no one knows who they are, but they are actually been identified people and no one has claimed them. So, and there's a few reasons why that could happen, because it's possible they died and they didn't have any family. You do have like I'm the last of my family story. That can happen. You also could have the family just does not have the money to cremate somebody. Cremation is the least expensive option to do. And I know when I had my husband cremated 3 years ago, that was almost $2,000 just to do that. And if you're somebody who doesn't have just 2 grand laying around, that can happen. So I did a little research to find out what happens to these bodies, because they can't keep them forever. Because I went through the list and there was some that went back. Let me see here. We got 2024, 22, let's see, 21, 2003, 1994, 1960. So, there's quite a few bodies on this. So let's start from the very beginning. Michael Wayne Cooper. He had a left anterior shoulder A tattoo on his shoulder, and his right inner forearm said "Get her done, Coop." He was found February 19th, 2024, and he was found in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now, as I go through this list, if you hear any name that strikes a bell with you, please get in contact with the medical examiner's office. Tracy Odette Pugh. She died February 7th, 2024 in Winston-Salem, and she died at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. Now, how they don't have access to get a hold of somebody is beyond me. Number 3, Manuel Leo Dickey. He was found January 4th, 2024 in Tobaccoville, North Carolina. He had a bracelet with was white metal with a bell and a white metal and bluestone military ring. So then we have Richard Douglas Wiles, found December 3rd, 2023, found in Winston-Salem. Left arm, butterfly and roses tattoos, right upper chest, a winged animal, and right upper back, a blue colored tattoo. Number 5, Charles Wren, found August 19th, 2023, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He had a scar on his abdomen. And then he also had a lion on his upper right chest, a tiger on his left upper chest, a tattoo sleeve with clown and flowers and clock on his right arm, and a tattoo sleeve with eagle, Confederate flag, and hate, and on his right calf a spider. Number 6, Philip Warden. Now, I did see a note where this one is being claimed, so we'll go ahead and bypass him. Let's see. Number 7, Larry Fry, found May 15th, 2023 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Let's see. He had scars on his upper right arm and side, right upper thigh. He had a healing graft donor site. Right lower leg inside. He had another scar extending from below the knee to above the ankle. And then he was wearing a clear bead bracelet. Number 8, Joseph Charles Walker, found January 15th, 2023 in Walkertown, North Carolina. Left shoulder tattoo, root, hog, or die. Other belongings, he had a brown folding knife. Let's see. Number 9, Norbert Atlee Smith, found December 21st, 2022, found in Winston-Salem. Are we still going? Please let me know if people can hear me because I keep getting these weird um, issues, like we have signal issues or whatever, and I don't understand why. So if someone could like put in the chat that you still hear me and I'm still live, please let me know. Yes, okay, great. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, Robert Atlee Smith, found December 21st, 2022 in Winston. Basically all he has is a scar. So on the front of his neck there was a scar, left knee scar, and right lower abdomen. Number 10, Robert Allen Finch, found December 6, 2022. Thank you, Rita. Um, in Winston. Nothing specific about his body. Thank you, Katina. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me. Let's see. Number 11, David Spry, found November 26, 2022 in Winston-Salem. Nothing remarkable, no tattoos or anything here. Um, David Austin Hester, found November 14th, 2022, Winston-Salem. And let's see here. Teddy Malone, November 7th, 2022, in Winston-Salem. He had skull tattoo, tree bird with skull and wings, right bicep and eye, left elbow, skull, left lower arm, head with eye and mouth, and left hand, back, skulls. So let's see. And then right lower arm across, right hand back, skull, $sign, finger, letters, lower left leg, the number 1. Curtis Gardner, found November 6, 2022, found in Winston-Salem. All right, can you guys hear me right now? Like I said, I just got another one of those. We're having signal issue type deals. And then it said I had an audio disruption. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, so Curtis Gardner, found November 6, 2022, scar on his left shoulder, 6 inches, another scar, 3.5 inches on his left shoulder, left wrist, 2.5 inch scar, and left on his antecubital fossa, 2.5 inch scar. Let's see here. Left shoulder, heart tattoo, rose tattoo, and a name. Right shoulder, animal skull with tribal headdress. So, and then we got number 15, Robert Austin Moore. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. Every time I go live on Facebook with this new phone, I keep getting issues. It might be my case, I'm not sure. So now we've got Robert Austin Moore, found October 17, 2022 in Winston. Kenneth Charles, found October 10th, 2022 in Winston. Jesse Lee Scott, found September 25th, 2022 in Winston. So because it was 49 bodies and 39 of them were in Winston, I'm starting to think Winston may not be a good place to go to. Just extrapolating there because they keep finding bodies everywhere, or it's just becoming a dumping ground. Take your pick. Um, Let's see. Josh Nafong, September 14th, 2022 in Winston. Derek Glenn, July 22nd, 2022 in Winston. Timothy Ray Mabe, June 8th, 2022 in Winston. Nancy Burko Nyman, June 8th, 2022. And guess what? In Winston. Um, Jacoby Bernard Monroe, May 11th, 2022 in Winston. Let's see, he has scars mentioned. Right forearm, 3-inch scar. Right upper thigh groin, 3-inch scar. Back, numerous circular scars. Tattoos. Right upper arm, Michelle Issa Tehad Blessing Kamad Amin. Number 23, Aaron David Burke, found May 5th, 2022 in Winston. Again, like I said, all these bodies are popping up in Winston. They're not been claimed. Um, Tattoo, right forearm time, left forearm life, left upper arm the letter M, right upper arm Fleigh, Fleigh, and then 187, and right forearm rocket spelled Rokett. Number 24, John Carter Gregory, found April 14th, 2022 in Winston. Number 25, William Robert Moe, found March 13th, 2022 in Winston. Um, tattoos on that one too. Luis Reyes Luciano, February 13th, 2022. You guess it, in Winston. Um, tattoos, the Magi with a portrait. Um, 27, Manuel Berry, February 5th, 2022, in Winston. Guillermo Jimenez Garcia, found January 26th, 2022, in Winston. Kelvin James, January 24th, 2022, in Winston. William Curtis Polk, January 21st, 2022. I'm going to give you three guesses. You're only going to need one where this guy was found. In Winston. Let's see here. Robert Cortez Golston, January 19th, 2022, found in Winston. Raymond Sims, January 16th, 2022, in Winston. Number 33, Gordon Ray Simpson Jr., found January 10th, 2022. Oh, we have a change here in Durham. This one was found in Durham. And then Corey Ray Young, found December 16th, 2021, in Winston. He was also a patient that died at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. Paul Alexander Wilson, December 14th, 2021, in Winston. Robert Andrew Cabell, October 12th, 2021, in Winston. Philip Dale Key, October 10th, 2021, in Winston. Marcelino Lopez Rodriguez, found October 10th, 2021, found in Monroe. Now, this one's got an interesting note, so I'm going to read this one. Decedent found in woods beside a Lowe's home improvement store. No drugs or signs of foul play noted by the Monroe Police Department. A permanent resident card was found with the body with this name and date of birth. However, fingerprint search indicated that this individual had at least 8 aliases, 6 date of birth, putting age from 40 years to 61 years. That Katina just asked if any of these people were found in around the same area, or do I know? No, I do not know. That's just that they were found in the city of Winston, most of them. So they took DNA samples and sent them off to the North Carolina Crime Lab to create a profile and hopefully entry into CODIS to possibly match up against someone that could be related to this individual. Harold Dean Jones, found September 17th in 2021 in Winston-Salem. James Henry McKenzie, number 40, August 25th, 2021, found in Winston-Salem. Now, this one's saying he was a pedestrian struck by a motor vehicle, pronounced dead on the scene, medical examiner case, but no one ever claimed his body. Let's see. George Robert Schlett, spelled Schlett. This is number 41. Found April 10th, 2021. Location, you call it Winston-Salem. But he was an in-hospital death, so nobody claimed him. Let's see. Robert Joseph Sullivan, number 42, found October 12th, 2020, found in Winston. Number 43, Fatamia Papatu, found January 5th, 2017, in Lanesboro, North Carolina. Carlos Armendariz Torres, found July 14th, 2008, found near Bolton, North Carolina. He was an individual struck by a motor vehicle. Jose Lopez Parra, found May 11, 2007. Location, Creedmoor, North Carolina. Felipe Sanchez, found December 26, 2003, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Number 47, Dario Martinez, found in, September 21st, 1994, found in Benson, North Carolina. And they said this gentleman was apparently in a fight in the woods near a Food Lion grocery store. And number 48, Robert Q. Ferris, found June 14th, 1993, found in Charlotte, North Carolina. And number 49, now this has got a long note. Ruth Allen, found April 12th, 1960, in Pantego, North Carolina. On April 12th, 1960, employees of the State Highway Commission found a human skeleton in a patch of woods just off U.S. Highway 264 and a dirt road. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office responded, and the bones were collected, which consisted of a skull and numerous other bones, along with the remnants of a print dress and a piece of canvas top tarpaulin. On April 13th, 1960, deputy sheriff and SBI agents transported these remains to the anthropology department at UNC Chapel Hill. On June 29th, 1960, an SBI agent in company with a deputy sheriff went to Raleigh and obtained the dress which the victim was wearing and the tarpaulin and returned to the Wilson County Sheriff's Office where family members and friends positively identified the dress and belonging to Ruth Allen. A suspect was arrested in this case in July 1959 and had hung himself in the Wilson County Jail just 13 hours after being arrested. The remains of a human one skeleton had been found approximately 1 mile west of town of Pantego, North Carolina, about 100 yards off of US 264 and about 60 feet from the road, which led to Dewey Topping. Now, here's my question. If they have all this information about, especially Ruth Allen, I don't know why her body wasn't claimed, which is weird. Now, I did notice there was quite a few Hispanic names, so I would not be surprised maybe if these people didn't have family in the country. That might be why they weren't claimed. But I did look up to see, okay, you've got these bodies, you've got these remains. What do you do with them? So it did say, and let me pull it back up, that, there we go. Frequently asked questions. If a body's not claimed, what happens? And basically, the medical examiner's office holds on to it for an undetermined amount of time, which I didn't understand what the time frame was. But they just say undetermined amount of time. And what they do is they have them transported to Raleigh for cremation, and the cremains will be delivered to the chief medical examiner's office. After a period of time, the cremains will be transported to the North Carolina coast for a burial at sea. So that's what happens to the bodies that are not claimed. It doesn't say how long they stay unclaimed. It just doesn't, how long they hold on to them before they do that. So I would dare say a good many of those names listed on that list have already been cremated and had a burial at sea, if I had to wager a guess, a good many of them. They're not just sitting there in the morgue, which is very sad. But like I said, options are, especially with a lot of the ones with Hispanic names, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have family in the country and the family doesn't know what happened to them. Then there's always that cost aspect. Family, you don't have $2,000 or $3,000 lying around to have somebody cremated. It's very expensive. And even though that is the cheapest option to do. And the third, you could always have somebody donated to science. There's that option as well. But, there's a lot of paperwork involved with that. So there's that. So I just want to talk about that. But, there's not all these bodies just laying there in cold storage. They actually do cremate them and then do a burial at sea. So that's what we do know. But I want to go over a couple of things. So some of these cases I talk about, like Marissa Carmichael, like Sean Zimmerman Jr., the kid that was killed in High Point. I get people who don't like what I have to say. And that's fine. You can not like what I have to say. But to threaten me, that's a whole other story. I had did a story on Sean Zimmerman Jr. a month ago, when he and his friend were shot in High Point in their car. I mentioned Sean's criminal past. I didn't really say what it was, but I mentioned. And here I've been getting comments from his sisters who one flat out made it clear that I better watch myself. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you pose a physical threat to me, like you send me a threat on here, I am going to report it to the authorities. No doubt about that. And it is what it is. You can't go around threatening people. And I'm sorry, if I say something that's not true, then say, hey, that's not true. Because keep in mind, if I bring up somebody's criminal history, you best believe I have their paper, I have the paperwork, I have the proof, which I posted in the thing. And she kept saying I was a liar. So I was like, oh, here you go. You didn't do this. So it is what it is. But I just want to discuss that. I just want to put that out there because I don't take threats kindly. And you're not the only person that's threatened me. And I'm not going to speak on something that's not true. I have my opinion on things, which is based on things that I've read and seen. But, and however, I do not make things up. I have receipts, as you all like to say. And here's the other thing. I'm getting real tired of people saying because I'm white, I can't speak on black cases. Because I'm sorry, who the hell are you? I can speak on I can speak on anything I want, just like anybody else can speak on anything they want. So there you go. But I'm going to continue to talk about cases. I don't care if the victim is black, white, purple, green, yellow, or orange. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it because it's crime. But if you want to come down on me because I'm white and I'm talking about a case of a person who is black, push on because I'm not going to tolerate it. If you don't like what I have to say, then don't watch. Simple. Done. Because you don't have to watch. Like Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, he's guilty as hell. Yeah, I'll say that. I got caught hell for that. And I caught hell from the white side of people because I didn't call him a monster. I don't know the kid. I can't call him a monster. We don't know why he stabbed the other kid. So much is up in the air about that. You know, does he deserve jail time? Yeah, he definitely does. But I don't know why he had a knife in his bag. Was he in a habit of carrying a knife in his bag? That's a question I would like an answer to. Because that, in my opinion, speaks to intent. If he has one in his bag all the time, then that weapon was a weapon of opportunity. If he put one in on that day specifically and never did it before, that's different. That shows intent. But nobody wants to hear what I have to say most days because they're like, oh, stop talking. You're not making any sense. You're white. You shouldn't talk about black things. Okay, well then black people stop talking about white people's things. I'm going to say that too. But yeah, I'm going to talk about if it's crime. I don't care what color the victim is or what color the perpetrator is. I'm going to talk about it because that is what I do. This is my channel and I can talk about what I want. So there you go. So let's rehash. 49 bodies unclaimed with the North Carolina Medical Examiner's Office. Through their guidelines, I mean, a lot of them are from Winston, which does give me pause and wonder what the hell's up with that. But they are not physical bodies anymore. They have been cremated. And if they're there at all, they're in ashes. And if they're not there, they have been, you know, transported and scattered into the sea. So that's a very peaceful service, personally. So that's that. Um, I'm getting threats again from people, which is very annoying. And I am white and and yes, I do talk about black cases and no, I should not be prevented from doing that. So there you go. So I'm going to hop off here. I've got some other stuff I'm working on that I'll be releasing hopefully either today or tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the case of the Carey sisters. Um, they were killed in the 90s back in Missouri. And there was another thing I was going to talk about, and I can't remember what it is, but I have it written down. So, anyway, you all have a great night. Oh, actually, here's another weird thing I just found out about. Um, Cassie Ventura is getting sued by one of the sex workers. I find that interesting. This guy's claiming that she drugged him and raped him. What? What on earth? Um, I mean, Diddy is going to get some time. He's going to get some time. But Cassie, though, hearing her testimony, hearing some, I found a hard time sticking to the fact that she wasn't complicit in some of it. So, not to victim shame or anything like that, but, you know, yeah. So I think there's more to it than what was presented. So there's that. And I have heard a rumor that the Anthony family, Carmelo Anthony's family, has fired that Dominique Alexander guy. He was the spokesperson for the family. He is the CEO of the Next Action Network or Next Action Generation Network or something like that. And this guy has got abuse charges, severe child abuse charges, domestic violence, fraud. He's a con man. He's all these things. So I'm glad they got rid of him. But they got Charleston White. And I don't know how I feel about that because Charleston White's an interesting guy. But I remember hearing what he was saying about the case a month ago. And he was saying that Carmelo was guilty as all get out and was doing time and all this other stuff. And now he's saying doing the complete opposite. So I almost wonder if Charleston White is now being a paid puppet. I hate to think that because he does kind of say some goofy off the wall stuff, but he's getting money. So I don't know what to think about that. Okay, that's all I have. So anyway, this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I will be out here later doing some other stuff, and you all have a great night, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.